Hey there, want to spend less time pulling weeds? Check out Soil Shield by Modern Grower. It's the pre-cut landscape fabric solution to help you drastically reduce weed pressure. Just roll it out, staple it down, and plant. Then let it do the work for you. Say goodbye to endless weeding and hello to more free time. Plus, it's high quality, durable, and will last for years, saving you time and money in the long run. It's available in a variety of row and hole spacings to accommodate all the crops that vegetable farmers grow. Learn more about Soil Shield landscape fabric at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below.
What about in terms of look? How would you advise somebody to say, here's how you find the brand represents you? Because there's a lot of directions you can go in, right? Like I could just see what you're doing and say, okay, I'm going to copy that, but that might not be who I am. I can see what Starbucks does and I might copy that, and that's not who I am. I can look at some of like these soil producers in the hemp industry, like Frog's Farm and stuff, that have these crazy like psychedelic bags and everything, and I could go down that route. But if that's not who I am, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and I think for us, like you said, who are you? They have to ask themselves, who are you, and what is your unique trait you're bringing things? For us, there was a lot of temptation at first. Do we want to do that super psychedelic stoner imagery? Not really. That's not really who I am. I'm more of a farmer than like a cannabis connoisseur. Obviously, I work with cannabis a lot, but that's not really my identity. It is in that authentic farmer, former Ben & Jerry's associate. For me, asking myself those questions was a really key part. And I would advise anyone else, like, they have to create a brand that really resonates with you personally, because you're going to be talking about it and you're going to be putting it out into the world every day for years to come. So if it doesn't resonate with you personally and you're not passionate about it, people are going to pick up on that, and you're going to see failure. So I think what's more important than copying someone else's success is figuring out what really resonates with you, with your heart and your soul, and then taking that and, pushing it out into the world. As cheesy as that sounds, I really do believe that.
No, I think that's really accurate, because one thing you said that's important is you got to talk about it and you have to be enthusiastic about it. So it's like, what do I believe in, identify with, and that I can maybe play with in a fun way? Because you got to want to do the work too, right? Like, you worked a hard day in the field and then you got to update the website. If you hate that part, at least make it interesting for you. And again, the Sunset Lake CBD, I like that you just said we're going off craft. Like, that's our word. And I think where farms I see get into a lot of problems is we're low till, regenerative, micro farm that doesn't use pesticides. It's like this word salad that they try and put out there, and it's just pick one. Mm-hmm. You can identify or put the other details out there in your copy, but if the consumer can't really understand who you are in a quick snippet, then it's really hard. So you guys have the craft. Hey, we're a craft CBD company. I know what that is. I can put craft CBD on every bottle, on every product. It's not too wordy. But if I have Vermont raised craft CBD, no pesticide, regeneratively grown, after people start losing it.
No, you're so right. Because for me, one of the things I'll get really nerdy about, and I love, is our use of beneficial insects in the field. That being said, if I put on our labels, we use trichogramma wasps to combat the European corn borer instead of spraying our plants with pesticides, people will say, what the hell does any of that mean? And what does it have to do with CBD? Yeah. So I think a lot of you want to be passionate, but also understand that the things that you're specifically passionate about and your other farming nerd friends really care about might not be. Your consumers might care about them, and it's your job to educate them, but you can't assume that they know all of these things. If you're going to make no-till part of your brand, you better do a good job of explaining what no-till is and why it's important, because you can't make assumptions. Most Americans are completely divorced from any type of agricultural life, other than their eating. A lot of these practices that obviously you and I know about, and you probably know more than I do, we can't assume that everyone else knows what we're talking about. So I think that educating and keeping it simple, and the way I think about it is like a pyramid where maybe the craft is the top. Maybe an iceberg is a better analogy, where the craft is the top. And if people are passionate about it, they can go and venture forth more in there and learn more. What does that really mean? And they can do that digging themselves. But I'm not going to throw too much at them right at once.
I think part of that is putting our own egos aside. Like we're into what we're into, like you said, insects or whatever, soil. And that doesn't mean other people are. And we could be really proud of, oh, look what I've done. And really it's about, what does the consumer care about? What I care about, it's important, but it's not as important from a sales standpoint as what the consumer believes to be important. That's not to say to mislead them or to be dishonest, but sometimes it is just checking ourselves at the door and saying, it doesn't matter what I think. What do they think?
Yeah, exactly. And it's okay. So for our tincture bottle, I have 1.75 inches by 4 inches. It's not a question of honesty or dishonesty. It's okay, I have limited space to put on this thing. What are the things that are most important for them? Not for me, for them. And I think you're totally right. It is an ego check moment.
If you enjoy farm podcasts, then tune into Carrot Cash Flow for all things farm business. Join us as we explore the latest trends, tips, and stories from market farmers running businesses just like yours. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just starting out, our podcast has something for everyone. Listen in and grow with us. Available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe to Carrot Cash Flow today.